Today we're going to be talking about jazz music. Jazz music is a type of music that was invented in the United States. Jazz music combines African American music with European music. And jazz first became popular back in 1910. It's a very popular music even today. You can hear it on the radio, you can go to concerts. Some common jazz instruments include the saxophone, the trumpet, the piano, the double bass, and drums. While there's all kinds of things about jazz that we need to learn, one of the words that is a kind of a big word is called improvisation. And on this video that we're going to watch together, it talks about improvisation. So I'm going to ask you a couple questions at the end about that.
Great, Bill. Real smooth, everybody.
Just rehearsing, that's all.
Well, if you're just rehearsing, I can't wait until the audience gets here a little later on. I just love jazz music, especially when I hear it live. The rhythm is contagious, and I love just losing myself in that hypnotic groove. Now, the best thing about listening to jazz is that the music always feels different, even though it's a song you already know. It's kind of like driving to a place you've been before, but taking new turns and seeing new stuff along the way. So, okay. Motor's running, we're in the car, we're driving. And now the melody and the chords will tell us where we're going. Recognize that melody, don't you? That's Brother John, right? Well, now the musicians are going to take turns leaving that main road behind and take little side trips. What I mean is, the band is still playing the same song, but listen. Bill's making up a new melody right here on the spot. He's improvising. Now it's Noriko's turn, and here's her new melody. And here we go back to the main road, the melody. Morning bells are ringing. Morning bells are ringing. When a player takes his or her own feelings and uses them to make up a new melody or rhythm that fits in a song, that's called improvisation. And improvisation is what makes jazz, jazz. And it doesn't just happen in music. Whether you know it or not, you improvise all the time. Let's say you're telling a story.
And the girl said, I'm hungry, let's order a
You and your friends, that is. You make it up as you go along. Improvise.
Once upon a time, there was this girl who lived in a cave with her grandmother and her pet alligator. And the alligator could talk. Then one day, the girl was out walking her pet alligator, and they came upon a troll under a bridge. And they tried to go over the bridge, but the troll said, you have to give me a pizza. And the girl said, I don't have a pizza. And the alligator said, well, I don't have a pizza either. But I do have a toothbrush. But the troll said, why do I need a toothbrush? And the girl said, because your breath smells awful.
Well, maybe you want to paint a picture. Pick your own brushes Use the colors and shapes you want. Improvise. What about dancing? You hear some cool music, you get up on your feet, then make up your own moves. Improvise.
All right, so that was the first part about improvisation. So making it up. And what did he compare it to? Oh, I want you to think about that. He compared it to like a road trip. And what was the song that they used to demonstrate improvisation? Do you remember? It was Brother John. And then what kind of things were they talking about that were you could just not music, but what other things could they use for an example of improvisation? Right? Storytelling and art and dance. Those are all different things that they talked about that used improvisation. So we're going to listen to a story now. It's called The Hip Cat. And it's jazz music playing in the background, but it's talking about a cat that's a jazz musician. So I want you to listen.
Hip Cat by Jonathan London. Illustrated by Whitney Hubbard. Read by Anne Duquesne. He was a hip cat, a hip cat, a cool cat, living all alone in a riverside shack. Ooby-Doo John, the sax man, scat man, the cool cat man. One day he said to himself, all I want to do is make jazzy music. So he picked up his sax, what his friends called his axe, and tipped his beret and said, scat, cat, go, cat, go. Hip cat daddy alls got a horn to blow. And that cat scat. He hopped on the night train, the faster than light train, and in no time he came to a city by a band. It was a bebop, rebop city, a bongo, congo, roller coaster, jazz in your bones city. Hip cat moves it along, singing a song, swinging his axe. He slipped into Minnie's Can Do on Fillmore and said, sweet Minnie, I want to blow my horn. And our hip cat hero, with a horn to blow, blew. His sax bobbed and swung, screeched and skunked, purred and barked. The cats in the club said, go, cat, go. And Hip Cat wailed into that horn. And the crowd crowd went crazy. Oh, the joint was jumping, toes tapping, and cats bopping, tails dancing, and shadows hopping. Still tapping his toes and bobbing his head. Hip Cat stopped blowing and started ooby-dooing instead. Shooby-doo-wah-doo-my cat's a kitty. Oh, his new fans loved him. Many hugged him. He was a bad cat. A bad cat. A bad cat. But Minnie could only pay him with peanuts. He hit all the jazz joints in town, looking for a gig that would pay the rent. He was getting tired of living in a tent. But the joints were owned by the top dogs. If cats wanted to make it, they couldn't fake it. He said, if dogs can run free, why not me? So Ooby-Doo played his sax under the bridges. He played in the fog, and he played on the ridges. He played all day, and he played all night. He played for no pay, but he kept up the fight. One night, he slipped back into Minnie's can-do. Minnie said, Ooby-Doo, how do you do? Ooby-Doo said, I'm feeling kind of blue. Minnie said, sing it, you can do. Big Max and some minx cats and cats and minx were jamming on their axes, playing some licks. They said, who's that cat, the cat from the sticks? Then they remembered and shouted, Ooby-Doo, do what you do, let the cats out the zoo. So he blew his horn, all bluesy and forlorn. Then he started singing better than ever, all remembering the river where he was born. Ah, my cat's a kitty, then Ooby-Doo blew everybody away with his horn. And pretty soon word got around. Even the top dogs paid top dollar for Ooby-Doo to wail at all the clubs. He played in the Hungry Eye. Oh, he played in the Hungry Youth. He played in the Purple Onion. And when he was through, the crowds went home wild. Now, wherever he went in style. He tore down his tent and paid his rent. He ate tall ice creams and paid all his bills. They called him the jazz magician, a great musician, a poet of the blues. And when he rode the cable cars over the hills, his feet flew out in his shiny new shoes. Ooby-Doo shouted, oh, do what you love to do and do it well. Oh, he was a hip cat, a hip cat, a cool cat, a bad man, red cat. Ooby-Doo John, the sax man, scat man.
And we heard the story about the hip cat. And you know, the cool thing about improvisation music is it's never the same twice. Every time it's played something different because it's made up. Just like a made up dance or doing art that's not specific. You could improv on your artwork. It's something different. And it's fun because it's unique. Every time it's something different. So improvisation is the word that jazz music uses all the time. And some of the jazz musicians that you might have heard of is Wynton Marsalis, Duke Wellington, Louis Armstrong, Miles Davis. Maybe your parents listen to jazz music, but maybe you can, there's several different PBS websites that have jazz for kids. Wynton Marsalis at the Lincoln Center, he has a whole website that information about jazz music for kids. He's recorded things like The Wheels on the Bus, Baa Baa Black Sheep, but with jazz style to them. So that's kind of cool. So I wanted to share with you a little bit about, we've been listening to some other styles of music, and today was for jazz music. So I hope you guys were able to enjoy that and maybe learn something new. All right, you guys, see ya.